The Replacement, NG2’s Consolation. Written by the Overlord Bear for DARKTREEAUDIO. Karen would often chide him for not thinking things through much, and as expected, the original Neil Gorton never thought about how easily it would wear him out. It was certainly a shock to find out how I was essentially a government-sanctioned replacement for a dead man, but it could have been worse, as the authorities knew that life and death weren't things to take lightly, even when the most innocent marketing ploy was bound to be annoying. Our originals knew what they were doing when they bothered to leave records of not only their own personalities, but also their social circles. Authorities could be blamed, but so could their constituents. And that was as much of a debate as having us replacements be aware of our own true nature or not. Which, ironically, made it easier for replacements to figure out who they really were. And that hasn't even factored in the struggle to be had by those loved ones we were meant to return to. We would certainly be bigger shocks to them than we were to ourselves and some distant authorities and neighbours, even as they knew what they were getting themselves into. But Karen and everyone else Neil held dear probably wouldn't care about my political or philosophical babbles by now. Considering the time between my deployment and the original Neil's death, it's still quite a short time for me to expect a warm welcome, and such talk won't help. They had to move on, and we replacements are still human beings. All those thoughts resonated with the pieces of younger Neil's wild optimism. Would Karen be proud of his rare foresight, leading to some helpful insight? I felt myself tear up at that thought, though I wasn't sure about whether the original Neil would have felt the same. I haven't met today's Karen personally yet. The Karen 25-year-old Neil knew was a lost girl who desperately clung to his annoying bright outlook on life, one who couldn't find anyone better than a dumb man who deluded himself about the harsh realities of life and led her to do the same. Today's Karen would probably be jaded and doubtful of this replacement, whether or not I acted like he did. I was familiar, yet unfamiliar. I was and wasn't Neil. Would she want me doing old habits? Would she want me to be someone better? Would she want me to go by a name more human than NG2? Would she want me to become her personal punching bag? Would she want me to become some next-door neighbour with benefits? And then I laughed at those thoughts. Young Neil's wild optimism rang again. Stay with Karen if she wanted me. Leave Karen if she rejected me. But that clashed with the thought of complicated emotions soon enough. Karen has her life, Neil had his, and I have mine. We could stray away from what we were meant to be in life anytime, anywhere. I don't know about Karen, what I do know about Neil. But what about me? What do I want to do with this life of mine as a replacement? Do I want to break free from my life's duty? Do I want to just take it without another thought? Well, I already knew the answer to all of those questions when I heard the record of her phone conversation with the authorities. With the help of Neil's wild optimism, I demanded to hear a copy of it, and while it had been somewhat heartbreaking, it gave me resolve. I don't know what Karen would want me to be for her, but I do know what I want to be for her. I'm not Neil. I'm never going to be Neil. But I can be a loving human being. With all that in mind, it will certainly be nice to meet you, Karen. And I thank you very much for entrusting me with this opportunity, Neil. Thank you.